today's event. We have Roshan Kotla among us today, and he will be sharing his knowledge on a Salesforce product, Field Service Lightning, throughout the session. Roshan is a Salesforce enthusiast with more than 11 years of experience. He is a Salesforce consultant, solution architect, entrepreneur, and founder of Altalk, an IT company, and also the leader of Salesforce Developer Group, Hyderabad. He is also a mentor and speaker at Trailhead X, Apex Hours, and programs run by Salesforce.com. A warm welcome to Roshan, and I now request Roshan to start with this session. Over to you, Roshan.
Thank you so much, Sonali. That was a great introduction. Let me just confirm with you guys if you are able to see and hear me. Can somebody confirm that you are able to see me? And yeah, I think I see myself on the screen, and
Yes, Roshan.
The audio as well, right? Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you, but your screen is not visible yet. Are you sharing something?
I'm yet to share.
Oh, okay, fine.
So tell me this, I'm not too sure. When you see the screen, do you also see me, or is it one of only one of this on your screens?
Yes, Roshan, you can see your screen now.
No, yeah, but do you see? You only see.
Yeah, I can see you also, but now your screen is not visible. Now I can see you only.
Yeah, because to be very honest, joining Delhi as a and honestly,
yeah, maybe if you can just. I guess you shared it, but you are on another screen. Can you just share some other screen or something like that?
What do you see on my screen now?
I can see that particular Trailblazer link only. Trailblazer, yeah. Now we can see both the things, like you also and like your PPT also.
Perfect. Somehow I'm not able to see it. Let me just do one thing quickly. Quickly, where is this link? Okay, all right. Thanks, Sonali, again. Thanks, Sonali, Sagar, Manasvi, for having me here. I think it's good to see a combined meetup always. Congratulations, firstly, all of you, for your new groups for Nashik and Khandwa, respectively. I think both the groups are fairly new, and it's good to see. It's always good to join newer groups because I think the audience generally are newcomers to the Trailblazer community, and it gives us an opportunity to tell or share our knowledge to new people, as well as talk more about the Trailblazer community in general. So without wasting any further time about that, so congratulations, guys. If we see, I'll hope to see you guys on video maybe towards the end of the session when we do the game session. But yeah, briefly about myself, my full name is Roshan Raj Kotla. I've been working on a Salesforce ecosystem for about 11 odd years. It's a list that I'm not going to talk
Hello, Roshan, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Roshan?
Yes, Sagar. Am I audible again?
Yeah, it's better now.
So what has happened? There's a packet, and I've lost
Okay.
my second screen. So give me a
Okay.
moment to get this logistics back again to working one.
Sure.
This is not good. Do you still see anything shared? Because I see my second screen background with mobile mirror option there. Do you also see something?
Yes.
I think it
Yes,
got
but
stuck there.
now
So
we are not able to see.
okay, the connectivity is back, but I'm not sure what is going to happen again. This is nonsense, yeah. I'll start sharing again. I'm sharing again.
Yes, Roshan. It's visible now.
All right. So what was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that I'll not exactly read through this list, but yeah, in short, what I can say is I've been involved or actively, attending, organizing, speaking for Trailblazer community for almost to 8 years now, and across these 8 years, these are some highlights that I could mention. That opportunities that I've got across the groups. Of late, for the last 1 year, I'm not very active, but thanks Sonali for again reaching out, and so I might be a bit rusty here, and yes, that's so what you see on the frame there is exactly a year ago. So lockdown ne kar diya hai, daddy and all, but yeah, it's not too old. It's just in fact, a lot of things that you see here, I've actually done done a few sessions on field service lightning already, and I'm guessing most of you here may not have already gone through that, because if you have already attended any of those sessions, you'll find a lot of commonality here. All right, so thank you to all the groups and you guys for giving that opportunity, and this is what I've been doing. I've played all roles: developer, consultant, architect, and a bunch of things, and I'm still continuing to do pretty much most of the things. All right, let's get to the next step. So what are we doing today? Field service lightning, as it was called, is now, okay, do you see? Yeah, some of the places I could not still replace, but the name field service lightning is slightly changed. The Salesforce keeps updating their names. By the way, the assumption or the prerequisite for this session already is that all our attendees already have the basics or more than basics of Salesforce Salesforce in general, the profile, the users, the navigation, and things like that. So with that assumption, let's come back to what I was saying. So field service lightning is actually called now field service. It's no more called as field service lightning. They've removed the lightning part and added Salesforce field service. So here maybe I'll still keep mixing them up, because after the name exchange, this is the first session I'm giving, and I'll be honest, I've not changed the names across all the places. So we'll look at what it really is, why we use it, and the process, the basic process, and you see the things listed out there. Object model, the demo on desktop, and a brief demo on mobile as well. And we'll obviously take some questions at the end. And another point that I want to be very clear with is the idea is not to become an expert in field service by 5:30 p.m. IST. So that is not possible. That is absolutely not possible, right? And the field service is much more than what I'm going to talk about here. And this is more. See, I know they have different perspectives, but this is more of somebody not knowing anything about field service and trying to understand the basics of it in the next 1 hour or so, right? So if you see me skipping certain things, or if you see me talking about something and saying, you can check that later, it is all intentional, and there are dedicated certifications. There's probably not a lot of blog or help available over internet, but it's definitely getting better, and sessions like these or sessions I've done in the past definitely also help towards having more help available on the ecosystem in general over the internet. So that's the idea. That's the context I want to set, that this is definitely this for starters, beginners, and that would be the expected outcome at the end of the session, right? And this is what we'll typically cover. See, there you go. Blooper. It's not field service lightning. The lightning should not be there. So I'm using a wrong version of my slide. Let's put it that way. Okay. So I use this example very commonly, and if you have questions, I know it would be tough for us to now and then, but I think yeah, there's a lot of chat here, right? So if you think it's absolutely not making sense, or have lost something, and you want to ask me or stop me, I'm guessing you will not be able to unmute yourself, so please use chat as much as you can. I have chat open on my screen, so it could be a little delayed, but I'll definitely have a look, right? Because it will be tough for us to take questions on the go. Okay, so field service in general, it's not a Salesforce specific concept. It's a generic concept widely used across different industries, and in one word or in one statement, I can say, actually the word itself tells you, gives you a hint of what it could be, and this is the little meaning of field. So you must have heard of field jobs. A lot of them, typically when you say a civil engineer or some guy who's delivering, our what do you call, our Swiggy, Zomato guys or Uber guys. So their jobs are on the field. They are on the fields. It could be any kind of field. So that is the same field that is being referred here, and we are talking about probably an application or a software which is meant to help these field people, along with, of course, a bunch of processes. I mean, it's going to help the company have an efficient process to best manage their field work, and I'll take an example of a company who could use this, but in one statement, that is what it is. It's an app which is going to do that for any company who tries to leverage this app, or there are probably other custom applications on other platforms which could help you improvise or implement this process and make it better, right? So in our context, the example is, give me a moment. In our context, we've taken an example of an electronics company, right? Where this company sells and also services the electronics. So you could think of a Reliance Digital or a Chroma. I call for this example, like, so by the way, I didn't go into the detail of as an introduction about myself, but the firm which I run, so right now I'm not working. I used to work for other companies, but I run my own firm. The name is Altalk. We are a startup, and you would see that name being used across all the examples. It's an Altalk electronics company, but very similar to Reliance Digital or a Chroma or any other store that you could think of. Who would probably use this to do a lot of other things which Salesforce already can do, right? Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, things like that. But we'll look at how this application can probably help this team, help their field team, because you know that if you purchase a television or I know laptop, for example, because you just go and purchase it, but any appliance which somebody needs to come to your location, install, or you have a complaint, you raise a ticket with their support, and you are expecting somebody to visit you or fix it, all of that. This app will be able to do all of it, do most of that, and we'll look at that. I already see some questions, but I think they're not blocking. So, but in very quick part, no, it's not part of, you can say it's an extended version of Service Cloud, and it has got its own licenses, and there's supports Abhin to your question, but it's not it's not part of you. So you don't get field service features as part of Sales Cloud or Service Cloud. No, it's an additional cost that you have to bear. I mean, not you. All right. So that's very briefly, so maybe I can continue with the same story. So let's take an example of there is a sale made, the TV was sold, and you have to, what is it? What are the next steps? They will probably ask you, or they'll say, okay, take down your phone number, probably your address, but there'll still be somebody who calls you up and say, asks you for what is a good time for the technician to visit your house. They would give that information to hand over the customer information, our information, to technician, so that they can best manage their day. They would know our address, what time, what TV, because they'll probably have to get ready with, supported, whatever tools they would need to cater our needs, to cater to our needs, whatever our need is, TV installation, something else. So we will look at the finer detail features as such, but this is the story where a field service app can be leveraged. Okay. All right. Give me a second. Yeah. One moment. Yeah. And like I was saying, it helps everybody. Customers definitely, yes, because you're having lesser hassle, not 10 people calling you. Imagine, I think it's definitely better these days compared to 15 years or no software days. But it helps having a centralized system, because whatever app you're talking about would be accessed by your backend team, your technicians, maybe not customers, but definitely what do you call all the other workforce. But eventually your customers are getting benefited, because if they have an efficient process, if the Reliance Digital has a very efficient process, customers would be happy, and they would probably go for their next purchase to the same store, right? So that's why we say these are the elements which are benefited and are impacted through this app. They bring them all together. And I want to show a typical process, not show, but you can talk. So what happens is, I'll talk about, so the TV is sold, how that installation was done is one example, but let's talk about the TV is here, there was no installation. And then you raise a concern, right? You're saying, okay, for whatever reason, the installation has not been done. So you pick up your phone, you probably call a customer care guy or a girl and say, this is my TV, and this is my problem. There's nobody here. So that person would capture this information about you and the product, and probably create a case. I'm assuming most of you are aware of Service Cloud and cases, right? So typically that's where it starts, the cycle starts, and they collect what kind of work is being done, right? And it's not just the app. Don't just think in Salesforce cases and terminology. Even if you go back 30 years or 40 years in time, it's at least I have a phone, I call somebody takes down the request. They would check with the field team saying, okay, this is the request in this area of Hyderabad. I'm based out of Hyderabad. So this area of Hyderabad, they would probably give in writing, okay, this is the name of the customer, this is the address. They would check with me again when I'm available on all of that, right? So step by step, there's somebody in the backend team who's collecting the information from the customer. Then this is assigned to somebody who's probably the field information. They use as much as information, and let's say come to the customer location to address the needs. And while they're doing that, they would definitely, so I was telling about the need for supported, I don't say tools. Yeah, if it's installation, if it's some repair, they would need certain kind of tools and things. So so using this app or without this app, they would typically, if I'm here, the other day there was a guy to service our water filter, and he came to our location, he checked the filter, and he said, sir, I don't have the part required for this. He called somebody, he said, I'll come back on Monday. That's very normal, right? They cannot carry all the time every potential tool or part required to get the job done. So that is something which is needed. We'll see how much of that can be done by app, but yes, this app can do that. And finally, once the job is done, when I say job is done, this guy who's come here, he has the part, he's here, we are available. He finishes the installation or he fixes the water filter. He'll probably, if I think of a non-app solution, he'll probably give you a paper or something saying, sir, please sign and confirm that the job is done, so that I can go back, show to my supervisor, show to my boss saying I've finished this job today. And he'll probably end of the day saying, see, I've finished these 10 jobs doing this, and show it to his boss. If you talk about an app solution these days, when you have a courier delivered, you just probably sign it digitally, right? So that's where the job gets closed. Maybe an additional step of taking feedback from the customer, you can think of more from a customer service perspective, but pretty much that's the flow I'm talking about, and that's the flow with or without the app. What I've put on the screen, I'm not reading it exactly, but I hope my story is communicating what I'm trying to tell you here, right? I see some questions here already. Mobile working can change the status of service appointment. Let's first go there, Simran, because I think others, we're talking about some basics. So let's go through the object, see what means what, because I think a lot of people do not know what is service appointment. So we'll go there and then see if I can take that question, right? So I was, and I see there are new people, so I'll want to reiterate this point that we are actually understanding what is field service and looking at a lot of basic entities, which in itself will take close to an hour. And everything. Anu is asking for the previous slide, so I don't know which previous slide, because there's no important slide yet. So this is the only slide where I've actually put something. Anu, Mary, confirm. You can confirm which slide you're exactly talking about. Okay, because previous is just this. It's just the impact this app could create on what kind of people, right? So it's or what entities, not products are not people. And there's a lot of that, getting a job assigned, collecting the details required, finishing the job. It's the same thing, an extension. So let's talk about what kind of people we do have here. So when I say what kind of people, I've already told you, right? There are people who would take the customer information, assign it to somebody, technician would come here, talk to the customer, and maybe on need basis work with their backend team as well to get a product or things like that. But let's look at the specifics of or specifically what this app talks about. So that's the story of where a field service or what is a field service, in general. And what the names that you see here are the names, are the technical names or the how would I say this? The definition. These names are not something which I put on my own from my story. This is what Salesforce actually calls it, Salesforce calling it, me calling it the same thing, but that's what it. So you have an admin. Any app you talk about, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, anything other, there's always this admin who's setting up certain things. So you have an admin here as well. There's no there's nothing additional. But yeah, there's definitely be. I'll show you during the demonstration that as an admin, you'll definitely see certain additional settings with respect to field service, and that is probably an admin's job. So if I'm talking about Reliance Digital or I'll talk electronics team here, there would probably be 1 or 2 admins who would do all the setup for this before the customer care team or the field technician team can start using this application, right? So you have the admin there. Then you have the agent. So agent is somebody who is talking to the customer, getting this. So that's probably the first or the only person, no, actually not only person, the first point of contact for the customer. So talking to the customer, getting the information into the system and collecting whatever information. We'll see what kind of information can be captured. But typically this is case, case work order. That's the level where they're working on. And then there is also a persona or a specific kind of category that Salesforce is given, and these are called as dispatchers. So what is this? So these agents, they only collect as much here. They've got probably 100 requests. Their job all day is just collecting and storing it there. I think that's where the job ends, pretty much. Not exactly, but pretty much. Then there's a dispatcher who would actually look at this 100 or whatever list of work orders, or we'll look at the terminology, but look at this to work to be done list and assign it to set of certain people based on certain criterias. But that's the job of a dispatcher, and that's what you see in one line. You would assign what have I written there? Assign and manage appointments using a console. So we'll see what that console is, what the appointment is, how it looks like. But there is a persona like that, and who's called a dispatcher. And finally, you have, okay, before I go to the finally part, we are probably going to look at how that screen looks like and things like that. But Salesforce Field Service has got a lot of deep feature in how this assigning is done. Okay, I'm going to show you the basics of that, but for people who are already advanced or thinking of going to the next step and exploring more, for you guys, there is a lot in terms of how effective Salesforce or field service app could be in assignment and deep complex algorithms and optimization. So actually that is where it plays a huge role, but that's an advanced topic for you to just figure out more. So the next set of people are technicians, and technicians, the way it sells is, they would say technicians are the ones who are with the most benefited, while everybody's getting benefited, because technicians, in principle, using this app probably will never have to visit the administrative office, so if I don't have this app, I'll probably have to go every day to the admin office, pick up a sheet saying, okay, this is the list of tasks for me, and for the rest of the day I'll be on field, visiting these locations, getting my jobs done. And if I need something, I'll probably pick up my phone, call my supervisor, whether a dispatcher or an agent, whoever that is, asking for additional information. But using this app, everything is, there's a dedicated app, by the way, for field service, which I'll talk about and will definitely demonstrate as well. So using that app, technicians have a specific app, and using that they can access customer information, job information, request for parts, and do a bunch of things, and in fact also use maps. But yeah, they have an app which will make their job very, very easy and efficient as well. So these are the personas in the system, in the field service app. How can it help us improve? But I think I've already talked through some of that through this story. There's already a question. Bharat, there's a lot in the assignment. So Salesforce, when you talk about case assignment, it's very limited in nature when compared to what field service can do with its optimization capabilities, Bharat. And technicians, same as field engineers. Yeah, you can say that. Ola, that's the name I see. So yes, Ola, you can say yes. People on the field who are visiting these customer locations, getting the job done, are the people who are referred as technicians or engineers, field engineers. Yes. Nayan is saying service as a manual or person manually assigning based on location. I mean, does dispatcher also assign based on? Yes, so that's where the job of dispatcher is. He or she will have to take into consideration a bunch of things and assign it accordingly. And they can do a lot more. There's a console I talked about, right? So that console is very specific to this app. It's not an extension of, I mean, it's not same as service console or sales console. There is actually a special console that we'll look at. You're welcome, Ola. I'm glad I could quickly take that question. So yeah, if I could list down, if I missed something, yeah, you have everything managing from mobile, especially the technicians, and everything is at one place, assuming you are also using the for the other things, non-technicians. And this app, so like I said, right, if I pick up a job and I need some help, I probably pick up a phone call. I've not listed everything here, but products and all, but you also have this Salesforce knowledge capability that can be included in the field service app, where if I'm, and this is very normal, right? If the guy is here installing probably XYZ model of a Sony TV, and he has a question of saying, okay, now I see this error on TV. One option is, he's standing in front of the customer, probably just accessing the app, and he has a very clear article which he can access, just search with that error and fix that immediately, compared to calling somebody or panicking and probably giving a very bad impression to the customer, saying, I don't know my job, kind of a thing. So that is the reason I put it there, but there's a lot more you can think of. But yeah, to start with, these are the things would that would help improve the overall process. And I think I've repeated it enough in my story already, right? Some more, as you can see, collecting information, dispatching, tracking. I've not talked, but it's there in the demonstration. You can actually see, so these dispatchers through this console can see where a technician is, how much time is spent, is, their break times, if they're not available. All of that is almost live, and you can track it through this application. And finally, okay, service reports also. Again, something which I discussed in the story. So when your job is done, you take a signature. So if it's a non-app, it's a physical piece of paper which you sign, and that's a confirmation. And here you can, like I was talking about a courier example, but this also has a similar example where you have something to sign, but it's a document or a report where you can see, oh, this is the job, this is the time it could take. I'll show you how it looks, but so whatever I said is needed for field service is saying, okay, it is there in the app, and because these are things which you would need in your day-to-day field engineer job, and if they're all available or most of them available through this app, it is obviously going to improve the overall process and the speed of their work. Okay, I would not want to read through this slide. This is some, I've actually taken it from another session that I did in the past. But so these are, and by the way, this is not something from my own mind, and I've not created this. This is something which I've picked from Salesforce standard documentation. So all of you who are going to definitely go back to Salesforce documentation and read more and understand more or practice more, you will come across this similar thing. Maybe just reworded a little bit about what admins or agents can do, what dispatchers can do, what a technician can do. But in essence, we've understood who are these people, what are their primary responsibilities. If you guys don't mind, I can actually go through that. It's, I think, fine, right? All of you are here and interested, so good. I think it's a great number. We've almost got 100 people here, so let's take that extra step. I'll not go into the detail, but just taking this time for you also to read, and I'm just reading it. I'm assuming you are also reading it along. So admins and agents, these are people you will see. So when I said admin, they are setting up the application, right? So they'll probably set up who are these people going to use this system, the skill sets required, the operating hours, there's a lot. There are territories that you can define. What else? Operating hours. So skill sets, appointment, unique, yeah. So there are certain settings that you can look at. Your agents can actually better plan, or not better plan, but for agents, I think it's the most. It's not adding a lot because agents are still using the cases and work orders. That's why I put them together. But yeah, that's what they can do. Dispatchers, by now you would have noticed, they can track, they can schedule, they can assign, they can schedule effectively. I listed it there. They can get a bird's eye view. Yeah, it's there. This slide is screwed up. It looks like something's wrong with this. Yeah. But yeah, so you see the scheduling policy. If I just can highlight, this is what I was talking about. Somebody asked, right, about why not use the Salesforce assignment rules and just get done with it. So there's a lot more, and this is what I was talking about: optimization rules, scheduling policies, which are actually available through this field service. If learned and implemented, can improve the overall organization's money and time in a better way. The technicians, they can view their appointments, they can check on all the data, they can use maps, they can updates. If there is any update from the backend, they can on the go do that. They can check. So they've already talked about articles. They can also check the inventory request for more products. I think I'm kind of repeating myself here, but yeah, it's there for you to read. And they will definitely see a bit of this in the demonstration. So chatter is there, your knowledge is there. Of course, you're using mobile, everything is kind of live. Inventory, yes, you can check products required, products consumed, things like that. And yeah, all the customer information and your job information that you want to access. So more to that, no, I don't want to go. Fine. This is again the process. Initially I was talking about a story, so it's the same thing that I've put in a kind of a, if you can call it a diagram. Appointment is booked, and There is this, so field service also gives you this, what do you call it? So depending on what kind of request that has come from the customer for a given product and things like that, you can preset. So I was talking about admin doing certain things. I'll also show you that you can preset, okay, this kind of job, this product could need this amount of time, this skill, uh, these parts, right? So we'll look at that, but you can actually see that. So when you create the work order case, choose what kind of job it is. You can already have some preset information. Dispatcher could potentially use this information, assign it to an agent based on certain criteria. Then you have technician working on it. If they need help, they would probably use the app or interact with people, finally get the job done and get a signature, or use the report, and get a sign off, close the job, right? Yeah. I see a question and an answer. The service report is in the PDF format and the mobile worker is not able to edit the report. How will he take the signature of the customer? Like I said, I think Simran, is it? I think Simran asked a question earlier. I'm not sure. There was another question on service report, if I'm not too wrong. So service report or service appointment. So I'll come back to that once we, because if I have to talk about service report, how do we modify signature? Again, it depends how they want to take, if they want to include digital sign. So whatever I say, everything may not be out of the box. You may have to customize or add certain things to it. But we're talking about the possibilities here. But definitely the report is something which is out of the box, and we'll look at how that report is generated. And PDF that you're talking about, Simran, PDF that you're talking about is something which is definitely an outcome, right? So let's first show it to people how they can actually get to the PDF, and how they can at least configure that without out of the box using Salesforce field service, right? Okay, I'll go to the next part. Yes, Simran, that was everything about service appointment. I'll have to come back to that. I hope I'll remember that question. Pink is asking about cases created during this process. Not automatically, but yes. So you will see that work orders typically. So that's exactly where we are right now. So we've talked about certain things now, and I want to show you certain objects and their significance. Give me a moment. Yeah, this is the one. So yeah, I've just split it, but again, this is something which I've picked from Salesforce standard documentation, because when I was learning, I actually had to refer, and there's a lot that you'll have to go through that as and when you want to learn more and check that. So in the story, I was talking about job and this and that, but in Salesforce, the objects that we are talking about are work orders, the line items. Then you have these. Again, I may not be show you every object, but at a high level, you would want to know this. So you have the appointment, which is linked to a work order again. That appointment is assigned to somebody, right? That's this person. You can call it technician or whatever. And this is also linked to so many things directly, indirectly, as you can see. A territory, and those territories have set of people. So if I talk about a global or a national or a state-wise call center, they would probably have district-wise territories and members, and they having their own operating hours and things like that. So you have those. We may not look at everything, but you just understand this relationship of work order. So work order and work order line items are there, and then these are actually linked to the case, and service appointment is then linked to your work order. I'll show you this in Salesforce, and since most of you are already, I can see based on the questions, Salesforce, right? So you will, when you see it on the related list, it will be more easy for you to just understand this again, because this is not something which you can immediately remember or take a picture and consume that information. But I still thought I'll put it here so that I can just talk through this, if not the details. So this technician is eventually a user, right? So appointment is this, and you have your work order. Okay. I see more questions pouring in, so I think let me just go through these objects, and I'll come back to. Okay, there's only one more question, right? Roma, how many service appointment can be created? Are there any limitations? you can create, because it's actually a parent, as you can see. You can link service appointment to this, but why would you want to do that is also a question, because they would actually split the work order and the line item according to their job. We'll have to specifically look at use case and go into the detail, but I will look at the appointment. But in terms of limitations, I think they have advantages. You can auto create appointments and things like that, but I can't think of a limitation. Sorry, Roma, but I'll check if I can. Maybe for next time, be ready with that answer. So yeah, appointment is where you store. Okay, there's also a question: possibility to integrate CTI into FSL app. Why would you integrate CTI into FSL? Sure. Let's come to that at the end. I'm not sure if you're going to get all unmuted options to discuss this, because I'll have to understand more of the context. Why would you integrate CTI into FSL? What's the use case? All right. So service appointment and skills. So skills. I'm saying this is an object, but it's kind of special, because I'll show you that when you create the skills, you don't have a tab or anything. You actually, it's like user. You go to the setup and you create these skills. Go to the setup and you create the skills, and then use them to map it to your users. And then based on that skill set of users, you can link that user to an appointment. And all of that happens using skills. So skills is important for your users to be according to it. I see more questions there, but I guess I'm not sure you guys are there since the beginning. Give me a moment. It's a low battery. Because I was saying the context, or setting the expectation that this is a basic, the basics of field service, and there's a lot more to talk about, and these questions are actually going towards the direction of I would definitely put them in intermediate or advanced category, and not at the beginner level. So I'm not too sure if I can get to all of those questions and discuss in this, because I'm assuming the audience here are more of first time understanding what is field service, or field service lightning, or Salesforce field service. So we will see whatever I can do, but I think I definitely see the questions are more directed towards the advanced topics. Then you have territories where, so like I said, right, you could have states, you could have cities, or whatever the company decides, and have people linked to those territories. As work type, you will see this work type again, something which I'll show in the demonstration, which is linked to automate certain things. So based on the work type, so if you choose a work type, it's more like a template, and using which I can probably get my, maybe an agent can say, okay, if I use, this is the kind of work, so let's say installation, right, or AC installation, something like that. You do that, and then you automatically see what skill could be required, how many hours it could potentially take, like for them to give an idea, for the agents to get an idea of what could this job be. So that's that. Service resources are again people, which I showed you in the data model as well. Operating hours, self-explanatory. So basically that's the time where you are saying it's available, this is where I can do the job, and things like that. Products, this is more related to your inventory, where what do I say, you can see what products you can actually see products required. A technician, the field guy, can say, what do you call, products. If he needs an additional product, he'll put a product request. So that's the product request, where a technician, so there's a lot of related lists which you'll come across hopefully in this demo, which I'm going to show. Even if not, when you experiment, you'll see that. But as the name suggests, you will definitely see the technician will have the option to request for a product using the app itself. Timesheets, again something for the technicians, where when they finish a job, they would also want to log the time that they've spent on that job, saying, okay, I've done this installation, this is the amount of time, start time, and time. You will have all of those options there. So that's that. And finally, the service report template. So this is what you would see some questions coming up, and I was saying we'll look at it. But this is like a report. But it's not like actually a Salesforce report, but just like a PDF. Somebody mentions it's a PDF with certain information which is by default there, and certain information which you can actually configure to add to that particular template. What does this do? This will give you a summary of read it as a hospital report that we get, right? It's like a single page document kind of a thing. Your name, job done, how many hours it took, and all of that. We'll see what that is. Then we are saying, so this is just briefly about the support part. Where is it available? You will see it's available pretty much on all the standard ones, but interestingly, uh, or say luckily for us, it's available on developer edition, unlike a lot of new Salesforce products which are not available on the developer edition for you to experiment with. So this is available in developer edition. That's, I think, the takeaway from what I want to talk about here. So installing and setting up, we'll go there. I think we're almost there in terms of the demo part where we want to get to. So we will have, I'll not reinstall it, but when you install it, make sure that you'll not make sure, but you'll notice that when you actually install this package, there are two apps that you would get, you'd see in your app menu. One is for admin, field service admin, and the other one is for other one is called field service. We'll see how it looks like. Of course, apart from these two, you have the mobile one. So this is not talking about the mobile one. This installation which you do with the name which is being showed, you'll get these two apps in your desktop, your browser one. For the mobile, you will have to again explicitly install a field service app, either from the Play Store or App Store. Okay. So yeah, we'll see that. This is some screenshots to just have a backup of my demo. So this is your admin mode where you do a lot of things, but I think we're all good with internet. So we'll see the screen when we get to the demo in a very short while. But this is how it looks like, your setting screen for your admin. And I had another screenshot. Okay, it's not here now. That's fine. So screenshots are actually more of a backup that I had and used in one of the previous sessions that I did. So I would wait here, stop my screen share, or maybe I have the org. Yeah, I'm logged in already. Question and answers happening. I'm assuming I'm not reading them through exact totally, but I'm assuming some of the participants are answering their own questions and answers, which is good always. All right, so I'm on admin. So about two apps after we install this. As you can already see, when I started typing that, do you see two apps? And this is what I was referring to. So I'm right now on admin app, and I'm on obviously on my developer edition. So I don't want to switch too many times, log out, log in. I'll tell you who I am in terms of those four kinds of role, right? Admin, agent, dispatcher, and those three on the desktop, browser version. So right now, I want to see this from a admin perspective. Once it loads, of course. I don't know why it's not loading. Okay, meanwhile, what is it saying? Use mobile app, not sure if CTA can be integrated. I've not seen a use case, so that's why I was asking what is the use case, because CTA typically is your your organization's customer care, all of that phone getting integrated with Salesforce Service Cloud, and then you want to auto create certain cases or contact, a bunch of that. And this comes in after your request is in place, right? After your case is in there. So, yeah. So I'm not too sure, and I think somebody's already answered that. Okay, we have our screen here, so I'll come back with questions. Settings, you've seen some. Okay, can somebody confirm it's not too small, because I'm using the screen which has a different kind of resolution. So if you want me to zoom in, I can do that, or otherwise I can just work with this screen. All right, while we don't have to zoom in, you have field service settings. I'll come to that, and then you have a bunch of objects by default that Salesforce gives, and you think you can already set up based on your needs. Some of the objects that we talked about, some of them we have not talked about, you can definitely read more there. Let's look at this directly. It's fine. Thanks, Naveen, for confirming that. Something's totally wrong. Am I still with you guys? Yeah, okay, thank you. So it's only just the screen which is taking time, is it? Okay. But this takes time. Abhin, I already see a LinkedIn connection request. Great. I didn't talk about that part. So yeah, guys, if you want to connect and talk more, we're doing some field service projects. Okay, there you go. That's why it was not coming up. Projects. So yeah, I may not be aware of every use case, but it will be interesting to discuss and know more. And if not immediately, see maybe over LinkedIn we can connect and see. There are some old questions that I'm still yet to answer, but better late than never, right? So there you go. So this is your settings screen, and you have a lot of options. Here you have certain permission sets, which would also map to your, personas that I was referring to. So you see agent, resource, which is just more of, what do you call, technician one. Dispatcher, again, I said I'll show you the console which a dispatcher would use. This is more for a community, and admin, as I said, right now I have more permission sets, but admin is somebody who would access this app and this bunch of settings which I'm actually looking at right now. Community dispatcher, let's not talk about that, but from the name, so you can actually extend some of this if you, where is it, community users, right? So we're not talking about that here, but you can explore. So if you have any use case of can manage with your experience cloud, for that in short. And you have a guided setup. Just to tell you, this is how the console is going to look like for people who have not seen field service, and this is the first time. This is the dispatcher console, and definitely I'll show you in the demonstration, but is how it would look like, and a lot of things, we'll look at a few of things, what those mean, but yeah, we'll go there. So if you go to guided setup, it'll because on the left hand side what you see is not something which I would definitely need for me to get started with my field service app. It talks about scheduling, optimization, sharing, automated scheduling, everything, all of this to get started. Come on, why is it not working? Sorry guys, for the last couple of days there was some heavy rain, and not just this session, all my other meetings also have kind of struggled in general. Let's hope it doesn't give up, because it's too slow. Yeah, there you go. So you see the steps, and in Salesforce, most of the things are guided. Even when you create an object or a field, you have step 1, step 2, say what's the name, who should who should access, what layout, things like that. So here they try to put something similar here, and I'll talk about one way of doing it where I've already created, as you can see, some roles and objectives, but I don't want to go to that everything. Where do we start with? Give me a moment, actually. Let's start with the territories. Okay, because I'm going with this to not go into the other parts, because for me this is optional. I don't really have a scheduling policy as far as I remember, but let's see. So you have certain territories you can add from here more. You can also go to object and do it from there. Then you talk about work. Remember I was talking about work type being essential, where you can actually using work type you can set up, okay, this is the skill, this is the product, this is the time it could take, and things like that. I'll show you this better when I create. So let's actually, because all of you are aware, so it will be much more easily understandable if you go to that. But I think the internet is pathetic, to say the least. The only backup I have is an old session demo recording. That would be the last resort, guys. Okay, meanwhile, I think there's a lot of conversation going on here. What's happening here? Where do I start with? There's too much. I think, Raja, thank you so much. I think there's a conversation and you're answering certain questions. So you're actually saving some time. By the time we get this finished, I'm not sure how much time we will have. Yeah, Shekhar, I can do that. I'll turn off my video to see if that helps. But I know this for the last couple of days, this has been bad. So I'm turning off my video. Let's see if that helps. And there's been lockdown in the city since last couple of days. So the complaints are also not moving very fast. So not much I can do for that. Yeah, there you go. So territory record, okay. If you open a record, you will see, okay, Delhi is not active. Let me go to Hyderabad. Okay, I'll use the screen. I'll not do too many navigations. There's not enough bandwidth that I have to use. And while that is, okay, it's loaded, right? So you give a name, you can have a self relationship, that's fine. But you set the operating hours, as you can see, and you have a specific, probably, if that's your, let's say, your office or your, how do I say this? And you get the point, right? That's your address of it. That's Reliance Digital, probably customer care center for Delhi, something like that. Okay. Basic details, and then you have operating hours, a lot of other things. See, as I said, there's so many objects. Objects that I talked about are probably just the basic objects for you to understand and make sense of the story that or the demonstration that we want to do here. But there's more. There's more you can do, and Salesforce keeps adding. Right? You have shifts, you have child territories, you have parent territory, you have members that you add these people to. Let me actually use an active member because I think I have a member with Hyderabad location. But it's all data. I mean, and like I said, I will definitely not just me. It's just not possible to discuss every object and every scenario when we're doing the introduction session. But even here you don't have. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, I have a member linked here. Yes. Fine. So yeah, I was just trying to show some more data, but that's your territory. The work type is the other important one that I would want to show. So if I talk about AC installation, right? So these are all, one-time kind of a thing, or if you have some new things that you want to add to your services. But typically, if you see this, there's a name that I've given, some description. Pick the hours of saying, okay, this work type can only be, taken care of during this hours. And then I've already put a duration. So I'm saying that in general, I'm putting certain things because when we'll definitely use this work type in our work order. So when we do that, we want to pick up certain information automatically from this, such as it could be just the duration, okay, or let me go there. It's more than duration, okay. Products required. Obviously, if it's AC installation, it's AC, right? But yeah, don't mind the example there. But this is a skill that I'm talking about. These are the products. And I've also put a duration. So when I use this work type where I use, which is work order, it'll pick up all this information from this work type. It's like a template. I mean, think of it as a template. I know it's an object and you relate to objects, but think of it like a framework saying, okay, the moment you say, because that guy sitting there taking that work order may not have information, so he'll just choose the work type and he will be able to, if the customer is asking, he'll probably be able to tell them saying, sir, it's about 3-4 hours ka job, and what time would you be available, things like that. If it's a 2-day job, accordingly set the expectations of the customer, things like that. So how it can be used is, I'll leave it to the use cases, but you have this option and work type, that's why it's very essential. So product required, you can always just click on this, and products again in itself has certain hierarchy, products required, consumed, and all of that, right, as you can see here. But you can just choose one product and that should still be good enough. Okay, so if I show you this product, it saves time. So that's why I have a lot of data that is already created. And like I've been saying, in my some of this is from my past sessions. Come on. I think there's a lot of people who already know a lot about field service lightning, field service, as I see from the conversation. And all the people who are answering the questions on the go, thank you so much. I'll keep thanking you guys. All right, so you see some code, and if you've used Sales Cloud, I mean, anywhere product related thing, you know these things that are all standard, you know. So if you want to use that, you just do that. You link a product. Skill, yes, you can always add a new skill link. I mean, if you want to link a skill to this work type, you will click on new and choose what skill you want to add. Like there are skills like washing machine, router installation, things like that. But people again who are new, maybe old people would know. This is what I was talking about. Skill is special because you don't get to create the skill here. You don't see that option here, or even if you. So the skills is something which you are still do from the setup. I'll show you that part. But while it's loading, I want to highlight that part and I see a lot of people actually struggle with that initially, saying, okay, I want to add skills, because you don't know. Of course, you can go to Google and search, but since we're discussing skills is something which you add from the setup, and then you can link it to certain work types, and you can also define what level of skill. So like drill holes can have advanced, intermediate, or low, you know, kind of that as well. For example, if I want to edit this, I'll do my best, guys, in terms of internet, and I keep saying, so I can actually define something here. What, it stopped totally working, is it? Okay, not even able to type. This I'm going to try create and show a skill from setup. It's like user, but come on. Okay, let's go back while it's loading. So where was I? This product is no more required. I said you have territories, then you have work types, and you can link products, skills, and I think this I'm not able to type. Let me try again. Yeah, now I'm able to. I don't want to go. I cannot. Maybe I may not be able to show you exactly, but you know, this skill level can also be a criteria when you want to do better assignment, because you don't want to assign this work with skills lesser than 90. It's basically out of 100. So I want to just remove this so that I'll be able to link it to anybody. But that's where, you know, the skill along with the skill level can be used to better assign. So whenever I keep saying better assignment, and people who are comparing, for sure there are, you know, a lot of options, and this is one among them. What next? So skills work type. Yeah, let me go. Did this load? Yeah, this has load. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, basically, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I should wait enough. This is too long a wait for this, but yeah, this is where you would want to come and create your skills and then use it in your work type, etc. Okay, so maybe I can just show you this. Every click is so expensive at this moment. Okay. So you have territories, you have work types. Then I talked about service resources. So resources are your somebody said, right, technicians, or your those people who are actually going to. So this is my active technician. So you can say this is the technician. Yeah. So it's service resource, which is again linked to a user, as you can see here. So that user, when he is logging from the app, it's this user, but it's still through this service resource that is linked, and on this service resource you again have like which the location which it caters, active or not active. Optimization, I'll not talk about it this here, and you have so many other things that you want to link. What are the skills? So you have a user, it's of course the user who's logging in, but through service resource is what you're kind of linking it with all the other entities in field services. The territory, the skills, also the hours somewhere. Yeah, timesheets. Yeah, there's so many things. Right. Yeah. So let's go back there. So your person, your technician is in service resource. Your kind of work is work under your work type, and I think that is good enough for us to go ahead and do a cycle of this, because we get to start with it. So this is your admin part, right? So let's either I can use it here, I mean I can go to the case directly, or go to service console. But what people who asked, and I already answered this, definitely there would be a case, and then you start with case in most cases. If you want to start with work order, yes, it's up to you, but you don't do that. So now I'm going to the field service app without switching actually. So I'm not logging out, logging in. So I'm right now an admin, but I'm just showing you the features of various apps, right? Okay, let's why this app is loading. I don't have to necessarily wait for that app. If I have case tab or work order tab available, no, which I don't have. So yeah, this is the other app, which is not the admin app. So agents use, or you may not use this. That depends on the organization and how they want to use the licenses. But cases is where we get started with, and I can definitely, no matter what application I'm using, I always have the cases available, right? So I'll start with case. And to save probably some internet or some, I'll see if I can use the existing data to showcase, because everything's taking so long. We are almost, towards the end of that designated time. So okay, I'll pick up this one, and because most of you would know the case, so I don't want to again show you creating a case. You know how the case link to a customer, a contact, and so a case will always have um, um, related information, or have the information of the customer directly, indirectly, all of that. And the work order is what I want to show you. So for this case, so if I was the call center person sitting here for this electronics company, I would probably take some details in the case and then create a work order. It's an installation that I want to do. Okay, through this command. Okay, it's not even clickable. Okay, now it's clickable. Through this order, I would want to kick off my field service process. Okay, so what do you see here? You have work order information, account, contact, etc. That's all fine. You have a case number, but the thing to note here is the work type. Okay? So when I had this work type linked to this work order, I would ideally want to create and show, but trust me, this is automatic. Okay, So based on the work type that you choose in your work order, which as a call center agent, I may not know what product, how much time, skill, etc. So just the moment you do this, under your work order, you will have the products okay, consumed is because I've already used this record for a demo in the past, but you can actually see products required. Where is the products required? Yeah, there is the product required, and there you have skills. Yeah, that's it, right? Skills, products required, and in fact, based on you can also automatically create this work. Did you have this installation? I think. Yeah, you see this checkbox here, auto create service appointment. You can also automate that. So we're almost automating which product, how much time, what skills you would need, and also, so the moment this is linked, also create the appointment under that work order. Of course, that appointment will still have to be taken and assigned and all of that, but that is why I kept saying work type is important and very, very useful in using, assigning it to people. Okay, so that's our work order. We've added the work type. So I'm not adding it, but you know how to add this. It's just a lookup. It's just a lookup to the work type records, and I've linked it. Once you do that, what is the next step? So I probably, as an agent, admin created the skills, created some work types. They already so as an admin, I would have created all of that, set up service resources, my work timings, my territories, etc., etc. Right now, this appointment has to be assigned to somebody like the technician for it to be picked up and worked upon. So I think I opened that screen to save time. Did I not open that screen? I hope the story is clear so far. People who are learning it for the first time, that where we are, we have set this up, the basics, and now we are as a call center agent has collected certain information, created work order, just linked one work type, and everything else has automatically got linked. And now I'm wearing the hat of a dispatcher. Yeah, there it is. This is the dispatcher console, right? So I've showed you the screenshot, or not screenshot, but on the home screen there was a lot of colored things that you came across. It was from Salesforce, but yeah, this guided setup thing, I think this is where you could see that. I hope you still remember that. But yeah, this now I'm wearing the hat of a dispatcher. And what is my job? My job is to assign this, or maybe if they were already auto assigned based on certain options that we have available, track this here, do a lot of things. So if you see here, I have this one technician. I only have one license, so I don't have more than one. This is not me. This is that mobile user login, that field technician service resource linked user. Okay, and that is his break time. You can color code. So right now it's color coded in this. Status is dispatched, which means I have this SA0045, I think, which was the work order. Have I lost that case? I'm so sorry, guys. Have I lost that case? Come on. What I want to just show basically here is this appointment is automatically linked to that work order is actually this one, 45. Just as a confirmation is what I want to show, what I wanted to show you there. So typically when you click on this, you have option of scheduling it for a later time, or you can immediately dispatch. Optimize is not something we're talking about. And if it's already scheduled and you want to remove that, you can use these options. This on the top is your kind of list view, you can say. You want to see all of them, or canceled or scheduled, all of that. Right now I'm saying just all list view. That's basically what you want to see. And if you have a bigger list, you can search from that list. On the right hand side, this search is for your people. So this search is for your pending appointments that you have to be that needs to be taken care of, and these are your resources. And here you can see, okay, this resource has only got one assigned. Okay, and if I go to map, okay, truck is different, and I hope this loads. Okay. No. In general, consoles are slow, and with the problem that I'm having right now, I think this is going to make it even more difficult. So while that is happening, let me parallelly mirror my Salesforce mobile screen. Wait a moment. It is not my Salesforce One app. It's my it's field service app that you just search for. Okay, don't search for this app in your Salesforce One app. So you see the same what do you call appointment that I have on my screen, because it's the I'm only so one guy. Okay, come on. I think this map is never going to load. Assigned. Me to that this thing. This is the service report. Can I zoom in? Oh, the mirroring is gone. Is it? Strange.
Yes, Roshan, we can hear you.
Hello everyone. It seems there is some network issue. Sorry for the inconvenience. Roshan is trying to connect, so we'll wait for some time. Hello everyone. We'll wait for Roshan to join. Yeah, Roshan has joined us.
I have joined back. Can somebody confirm that?
Yes, Roshan, we are able to hear you.
Okay. I am using my backup mobile data to actually join back, which means I think I can mirror my phone. I'll give that a try. But sorry everybody. I think there are already some people who have dropped off. But the objects, I think I've showed some screens. We've covered basics and the story. In the interest of if I'm again going to be get disconnected, I just want to say this thing that there is. I'm not sure if this is already going to be put on YouTube, but there is already a session where I've clearly same thing recorded. No, this is not. This is not. No, I can't get this on mobile if I'm using my mobile connection. Okay, so did you even see any bit of what I was showing on mobile, that map and things, what a technician could access? Can anybody confirm that at least? Were you able to see any part of that? Yes. Okay. Okay. Thanks, guys. At least that gives me some. Doesn't feel good at all, but not in my control at all. So at least let's go. So that was a service appointment, and report is one thing I want to show you at least. I know we are over time. Let me go to this. So service report, if you want to actually, where am I? I'm lost. Service report is also something. So I showed you that PDF. I'm not sure when I got disconnected, but I'm showing you that PDF, which already had generated there, which is actually configurable. So you can just drag it. Yeah, you see this field service templates. You can Thanks, Sharad. I think that's yes for the service report template that I was showing in mobile. So yeah. So if you want to edit any of this, let's say let's edit this one. It's more like a classic, I mean, not classical, like but your layout where you just drag and drop onto screen what you want. Yeah, like this, right? And you have all the fields that are possible to be added to your template. So this is what is the template, and when you use that button, there is actually a button which I cannot show you, I mean the mobile part. It uses this as the template and creates a PDF and picks all the data from the corresponding records. Oh wait, am I not screen sharing? Sorry guys. Thanks Nagaraju, Darshana, Rupal. I joined back, so I didn't realize I was not sharing. Okay, so I just went to setup and yeah, setup and service report templates. And okay, should I just do this one more time? Yeah, go back. We will just have a list of templates and which can be edited, and the edit is drag and drop like your layouts. That's what I was talking about or showing you guys. Come on. Yeah. So you have all the objects. So this screen is something which you all are very familiar with, right? And to be honest, I've not customized or like overridden this. But if you want to override what I know from my, at least from my work experiences, that you could, if you want to override, you will not be able to leverage this. You'll have to build functionality from scratch to have this your own way. But I'm not 100% sure. But if you see a need, because there was potentially need, but when we kind of were going towards customization, we decided against it and use this template itself. For it uses this and gets all the relevant data and puts it into PDF and links it to the appointment. Now, how they want to get it signed is because it can be printed, or digitally signed, and whichever way they want to do it. Because it's mobile, they would actually sign it on the mobile. I think I've not signed it recently, but yes, they can sign it on the mobile. Yeah, that's the sign part, and with which we actually close the flow there. And what else? Yeah, that's actually the it may look like an abrupt end, but the mobile is where actually it's showing the same thing. But yeah, I would definitely recommend what do you call installing that, and you can see the same data and all the other options there. Once again, if I want to summarize, is your objects, work order, and your resources and territories, and then you have the dispatcher console, which is this, which you can use to, okay, if I can change the status to in progress. The color has changed. You see, if you notice, it was now it has become this. I'm not able to open map. Let me give it another try, because you can actually see. I was talking about tracking, right? Live things like that. You can actually see where they are at this moment, where the inventory truck is, and where the customer location is. It's a break time, and you can do a bunch of things there. You can reschedule and all of that. So that's your dispatcher console. Customizing this is not even a question. There's a lot of things that we are not even talking about. Your scheduling policies, your optimizations, all of that, and which I said is all it definitely falls under the next set of topics if we want to look at it that way. So apologies if I'm not going into too many topics, because this itself, I think if you talk about a 1 hour session with beginners, this is what I've successfully covered in the past, and I think pretty much today we took maybe 15 minutes more, but around that kind of concepts to be discussed along with the stories, right? Similar thing is already is also on YouTube. If you search with my name, and if there's any you are missed of this, it's not seamless. I'm not sure if this. I think this is also recorded, so I'm sure you can access this as well. But it's also on YouTube available. If you just search with field service lightning, maybe put my name Roshan, and you'll definitely find it. That was good response. I'm not too sure about this one. Apologies for not getting not getting to too many things. But yeah, that's what it is. Your work types, those objects. It's important to know. Dispatcher console is a must-have. So you should definitely come back here and try to an appointment. And once you schedule the appointment, log in as a technician. Make sure this technician guy has that permission set assigned, and then here you will be able to. Here you can see a lot of things here. You'll be able to see on your mobile that appointment. You can click on it and change the status, access other information, and close your job. So that's the end of our story pretty much. Let's look at the questions. I know they're over time, and definitely I also had something else. I was thinking 5 o'clock, but I'm now coming back to this. Thanks Nagaraju for putting that link as well, and thank you all of you for being very supportive. I'm now scrolling up to see if there are still open questions. I don't know how many we can take. I think a lot of them were answered here, right? I see Sonali answering about VF and Lightning. Yes, you can do both. I think we did recently from start. Yeah, the list is too much, and we are over time. Should we go to the questions, Sagar? I don't know how you want to do this because I see people. We're all towards the end, and people have started dropping off. So, guys, you can do one thing. I don't know if you noticed. Let me just put this back on the screen where you have my LinkedIn. I may be a little slow there, but I'll try and yeah, that's my LinkedIn. I mean, just put my name and you'll find me there, and I'll see if I can somehow, to some extent, answer some of those questions. All right, that's the best I can do at this moment in the interest of time, and not just my time and everybody's interest, right? So yeah, you can put more there. Even if I don't know, I'll probably, because we are doing some implementations. I have other people as well. I don't look at myself as knowing everything, and there are always newer features. So if I don't know something, I'll maybe check with our other experts and see if I can get you the best answer possible from my end. You all have been great audience in terms of being patient. The numbers were good. Answering amongst yourselves. What else can I say? I really feel a little bad in terms of that interrupted and bad internet things. I'm trying to turn on my video again before I stop speaking and hand it over to Sagar. Sagar, do you want me to run the Kahoot or you want to run this? I mean, we both ways, so I don't know how you want to do that.
Yes, I'm just sharing my screen, so maybe we can just. So are we done with it?
Yes, I can keep talking, but let's call it a day. I mean, from my end, and I think Rupal, that makes my day. Because that was the idea. It was good to see people who already know a lot about FSL, but if you were if you're here and if you have a takeaway saying it's a great start, I think I'm a happy person for sure. So yeah, thank you all. When will be the next session in detail? Gunjan, I could not do this. It's pending for almost a year now. I've done 3-4 different sessions, and everywhere this question has been there where people ask, when should we do the next one? So maybe it's time for me to start with something there. Yeah, yes, Akash, that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Hey, Shiv, good to see you. Some of the known names. So good to see you, Shiv. Yes, Sagar, you want me to do this, I can do this, but thanks to all the people for your feedback. We'll see. I'll see what best I can do. Because FSL, it's a bit tricky, so I have to take certain use cases and all of that. Yeah, Ola, you can put some. I'll see what I can answer, and but I'll be honest if I don't know about something, okay? And I'll take some time to come back. But yeah, I'll definitely put the questions, because your questions are also learning for me and others as well. And next time when I do a session, I can maybe take your questions and look at from that perspective and maybe add some more content or modify the content for the advanced sessions, right? So all the questions, and if I actually can get an extract here, Sagar or Sonali, that will also be good. because if not all of them are putting it on LinkedIn, at least for me to say, okay, what kind of questions came in, how much, right?
I have already taken the extract, so we will share it with you.
Perfect. So yeah. So tell me, Sagar, do you want to share screen and run it, or you want to run it? Anything's fine. I've done it always.
Anything is fine, Roshan. Anything is fine. Even I also prepared. If you are also ready with that, then maybe it's fine. We can share.
No. So even if I have to do it, it will be your screen. I'll just do the talking part where I.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just share my screen. No issue with that.
You are going to run it, so I'll just stop sharing and I think I've already stopped sharing. Yeah. So it's that your
okay.
it has to be
your
your
screen.
Maybe
the talk that I want to do. If you want me to do. I was searching for some known people here. If I can find, Atul Gupta was here. He left. I noticed he left. Shiva, you are there. Okay, so it's good in a way that I see a lot of new people that I've interacted with here. Please, I request we can all connect on LinkedIn. Maybe if I get to know more, maybe it may not be a section always that I can maybe put some content as well there. So yeah, let's all connect on LinkedIn if you are there, and maybe Twitter as well. It's the same name, Roshan Kotla. Twitter, I'm a little inactive these days, but yeah, we can connect there. It will be great to see you all there. So, okay, by the way, all of you, okay, so if I'm continuing to do the talking, you already see this on the screen. Are all of you aware of how to play this game, Kahoot? Okay, so let me do this while people are joining. I think there's some people who already know this. So Kahoot is a game where you have, you must have done this. All those entrance examinations that you would have given, you have a question, you have ABCD, choose one. But it's slightly more customizable where you can have more than one option sometimes. And the trick here is not just to get the answer right. The trick is to get the answer right in the shortest time possible. So because you can always go Google it, come back. But by then somebody else would have answered. So what you'll see is you have to install, or you can just go to your browsers, type kahoot.in, kahoot.it is what you see is on the screen. Just go to www.kahoot.it and you'll be asked for a game pin. Just key in this 9274443. What to put team name and team members. Are we playing in team mode, Sagar?
Yes. Actually, that simple one is not working. So that's why.
Okay. Just put your name in both. I think that would be. I mean, Sagar, do you want to have a team name specifically, or we can?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe one name is fine.
Yeah. So just put your name. I think that should be fine, Rupal. And so once you go to that URL, put in that game pin. You enter your name. So you'll see that start button. He has not started. We're waiting for people to join. We have almost 50 people. Out of 86, only 53 have joined. So let's wait for some more people to join. This is very interesting when done in person. So if I didn't tell you, I am the group leader for Hyderabad for a good amount of time. I've actively been involved in the community at Hyderabad for good 8 years. So we've done a lot of in-person events, large gatherings, and when we do this game and we have 200 people in the room, it's just I can't tell you how crazy it gets, because everybody wants to get it right. Everyone wants to look at the screen because there's just one screen in front of them, and they have to read the question and know the answer and just tap. So what you'll see is once the quiz starts, you will see a question. And after the question, so while the question is on the screen, I'll repeat this. Thanks, Shiv, for the bed. Yeah, you'll see the question on the screen, and you'll have 4 symbols on your either mobile device or your browser. Maybe a triangle, square, and a couple of other colors and shapes. So based on what you think, and they'll all be linked on your screen. Also, you'll have the frame for whichever you think is the right answer. You have to tap on that, and yeah, you have to tap on that. That's basically you answering the question, right? So when you do that in the shortest point of time, after every question, the scores will be displayed, and I think at the end the winner will definitely have a surprise gift. I don't know, 1 or 2 gifts, but yeah, that's how the game is. Is there a sample question, Sagar?
We are having $200 or $400 vouchers for the first 3 winners.
Awesome. So you see, there's a lot at stake. 75. So I think almost everybody is there. You can maybe start. So do you have a sample question, Sagar?
Not exactly a sample. We'll just start with the session. Maybe we can do one thing.
Okay.
We will just wait for 2 minutes and then we will start our session.
All right. Okay. So, and by the way, guys, typically these questions have, in this case, the weightage is same for everything, but yeah, the time is very important. Just remember that time. Getting it right after 2 minutes is 2 minutes is too long. 2 seconds, 5 seconds. That's all you need to get it right. Yeah, Rupal, in-person sessions. If you've attended that, you know what I'm talking about, right? We are missing those sessions. In fact, we did one Hyderabad television, which I put on my introduction slide as well. We had almost, we didn't do Kahoot there. It was kind of crazy to do Kahoot there. We almost had 600, 500 odd people there. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's fun in person.
I guess like most of the people have joined, so we can let's get started with this.
Get started. Yes. Okay. I'll read it out for them. Yeah.
Yep.
So guys, you'll also see the question. You don't have to wait for me to actually read it out. You just see the question, you know the answer question. Yeah. Go ahead and tap. Kia is saying, wait, too late, Kia. When did Salesforce, okay, there's a grammar mistake there. You only have 4 seconds. Is that it? Oh, no. Okay, you give them 4 seconds extra, is it? So these are the symbols and colors that I was talking about. 14, 15, 16, 17. If you guys are wondering, Roshan, you didn't talk about this, why are you asking this? So this was the first question, easy. And we wanted to give that slight advantage to people who have done some homework, maybe tried to know something before they came to the session. So that's why you see that. And I think there are 18 people who got it right. Yeah, 16. So I think they started announcing in 15, but 16 was when it was officially announced. So for every question you have 1,000 points. Pritish has got it right in the fastest way. So that's your leaderboard, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm not sure how team mode works, to be honest. So yeah, can we set field level security for out of box fields? Okay, this is an extra question that I see. You have that timer on the screen is 20 seconds. So you have 20 seconds to answer this. But I'm sure you don't need 20 seconds to answer that question. So Sagar, I was saying I'm not too sure how this team mode works. It's been a while, and also I'm not sure. Yeah, how many total questions do we have, Sagar?
I guess who joined the session?
No, number of questions. Total number of
questions. We have 6.
Oh, just 6, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I guess 58 people have corrected. Choosing the answer.
Abhin has surpassed. Pritish is out of the leaderboard. 4 people have climbed up. Abhin, Srinath, Abhishek, and Ankita. So, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Very close competition. Abhin is there consistently. Abhin is. Which one of field service persona? So I was talking about certain personas. Which one of you is not a field service persona? It's an easy question, guys. So now I see what team mode is. So when you put it in team mode, you have extra 4 seconds where you can actually discuss amongst each other, and then you have yeah. Yep. So yeah, 4 seconds mein duniya badal jayega.
Okay, I guess 53 people have chosen.
Most people have got it right. Yes. So Abhin is still there. Yes, Abhin is still there. Abhishek and Priyanka.
Moving on.
Don't give up until the last question, because even one question can take you somewhere else. Which of this is not a core object? So we looked at certain objects. Hope you paid attention there. So one of them is not a core object of this field service. Almost everybody got it right. Work order. If people are saying work order or this, something is wrong, right? But yeah, most people got it right. So I'm still happy. Abhishek, Abhin is out of the leaderboard, and Abhishek is there. So how many more questions to go?
2 more questions to go.
Two more, right? So Yeah, let's go. 3798. How can you automatically create service appointment? I paid some attention. I mean, I specifically mentioned that, so I think it should be very straightforward for you to be able to answer that as well. There was an option that was displayed on screen. Oops. So the service
So moving
appointment
to
gets
this
created automatically and get linked to the work order. But there is a checkbox on work type which was showing that if you check this box, the service appointment automatically gets created and linked to the work order. So I don't know where it went wrong, but yeah, that was. So I think there'll be a lot of change in the reader board now because, yeah, Priyanka is stopped and Abhin is back. Good to see you. Naluril has climbed up. Last question, guys. So
yeah, last
let's see if
question.
I think Abhin will still be there. I'm guessing that. Let's see. Top 3 is good enough for you to get one voucher. I think top 2 or top 3. What kind of information is displayed on the Gantt chart? So you have availability, lunch breaks, appointment status, utilization, all of the above. I'm glad you answered all of the above. And if you give certifications, Salesforce certifications, you know, most of them really don't know. You just go for all of the above. It's one of the tips that we give. So let's see who has. So is it top 3 or top 2?
Top 3.
Top 3. All of them get so 400, 200, 200. Is it?
Yeah, might be. They can use it in 400 and 200 both.
Oh, okay.
So
And who's the
winner
number
would
1?
be Priyanka.
Priyanka. So you're slowly and she maintained that level at the top and finally she's got it.
Correct.
So Priyanka, Abhishek, Naluril, congratulations. And hope all the best for your for your certification, whichever certification that you plan to target. Awesome.
First of all,
I request
yes, over to you.
winners to share their email IDs on the chat box.
Guys, it will be cross verified. You'll get first
checking your credentials
to make sure that you are the person who's joined here in the meetup, and the person who's getting the voucher will be cross checked. So make sure you give the right one. The calling part was extra. Nobody is going to call you, but yes, the name would be verified.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Roshan. Over to you, Manasvi. Maybe you can proceed.
Yes, I thank you all for the participation and congratulations to the winners. Thank you everyone in the chat section. Thank you, Roshan. And I would also like to thank Sudarshan for volunteering the event. And I request the winners to please put up their email IDs in the chat box so that we can set the certification voucher on your respective email IDs. And do tag us on LinkedIn. And so thank you, everyone.
Just a final thought or note there. So people who are, I mean, I'm hoping all of us will connect there. Some of them are already LinkedIn connects. That you have a lot of other sessions going on as well. So if you're new to Trailblazer community, through I think within a very short span of time, I see Nashik and Kanwa has got a lot of users there, and you can access. There are other communities as well, and there are a lot of content. So while we are still doing these online sessions. It's a great opportunity because once we go back to in person, imagine this being in person and it's restricted to a particular city and audience from that particular city. So as long as this is online, make the most of it. And thank you again, Manasvi, Sagar, and Sonali. It's been a while. There's so much happening around the world. So it's been a while, almost 6 months back. So it's good to be back. I think I was a bit rusty. My internet also told me indirectly that Roshan, you're rusty. So internet was also rusty for join you in future sessions as well.
Thanks a lot, Roshan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, take care.
Bye. Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All take care. Stay safe.